38% audience score for Rings of Power. I wanted to go through the user reviews of Rings of Power. This could be the last time we talk about it in a while. Hopefully. Yeah, I need to piss as fast. I pissed. Actually, she killed the ice troll quicker than I could piss. Make Sixaplex there.
Well, if you had a bucket, you'd be fine.
Yeah, well, I'd be. Yeah, exactly.
I remember I
gotta
had
get
like this running joke
gamer.
with
You had that
people I
gamer
played
diaper.
WoW with, where I had
Yeah.
a Blizzard diaper, and I could WoW and shit myself, but still get the sponsorship.
A raid diaper.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rip off of the you know the single product where you're wearing pants and like you fill up both pant legs with diarrhea and then it like slips open and spills all over the floor.
Oh yeah, where the pants just like keep expanding. Yeah. Well, I'd rather shit my pants than watch a new season of Rings of Power. Luckily, I won't have to wait till another year to watch Rings of Power, so got a full year to go. So that's nice. That ain't bad. But I wanted to talk about the reviews because there's a mix of reviews that are going on here. And I was reading some of the good reviews, and I'm just like, these people are fucking retarded. It's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. And mind you, IMDb is owned by Amazon to put out the show. So I don't think this is actually a 7. Especially when you're seeing a 38% audience score. Kind of doubt that 7 out of 10 score. You know what I mean?
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
I thought you had a Rings of Power background already.
Oh, I have to get it. I have to make it, but good.
I mean, we've been watching this shit for 2 years now.
No, I just brought that clip in last time.
Has Rings of Power
Ever.
been approved from another season, or it's done? Like,
Yeah, no,
is it?
it was actually it made it through the writer's strike, and they filmed. So next year we'll get Rings of Power. They're actually going on and
There's
off
going to
with
be a second
Rings of Power.
season.
Yes, for no reason. I mean, there shouldn't be.
God, man.
You know, when only 37% of the audience finished the show, that lets you know. Like Netflix,
You're
they
gonna
won't
have to watch it. You know that, right?
Oh, I will. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I watched this and it's like
we
I'm
need
gonna
to
watch
know
it.
like how horrific. If you know, maybe maybe it'll turn out to be really good.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Maybe I'll go
all right,
a dick and a horn.
if it was good, I'd be the first one to admit it. You
And
know,
I'll be
I would.
you know,
I'm not gonna just hate this show to hate it.
I can legally qualify as a triceratops for my taxes.
I mean, there was episodes of Ahsoka there was that one episode of Ahsoka that I did genuinely like, and
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back.
That
to
was
the
it.
first couple episodes we talked about it to figure that out.
And then like One Piece, like I genuinely liked
I feel
One
like
Piece.
Amorosa's been letting you down for a couple months now.
Meh. Oh yeah, this is actually I agree. This is an interesting question here by Mixed Sixaplex. Do you think any of that 37% is going to watch the second season? Yeah,
Well,
that'll be an interesting to see.
That's the thing about it is like they have the data and statistics to see how poorly it did. So why would you want to reinvest in for more abuse?
I just don't know.
Unless you're trying to fuck the franchise over and sink the stock, then okay.
But also this,
we're at 50K. Let's get to 60.
But also here's this. We don't have any objective numbers. All the numbers that we're hearing is what Amazon tells us. And there's no way to find it out objectively. So can you even really trust what they
you
tell
have to almost factor in percentage of manipulation like we were doing on reviews. I would say 20% is safe to really like, you know, what if say it's like 70%, it's probably 50. And if it's at 50, it's probably 30. And if it's 30, it's probably 10.
Yeah, and I mean,
and if it's 10,
a lot
it's
of people
probably like not even registering. far
And like
as
Amazon, I
views.
remember they touted how many people watched the first episode, and it's like a lot. It's a real lot. But none of those people went and watched the rest of the season.
Mike's a Plex. Have you seen that Alaskan show that we were talking about before?
I don't
It
think
seems
many
like
people have seen
kind of
that show.
Canadian type of.
It's Alaskan. That's a little different.
No, I know,
That's
but
like,
like you're all into like camping and stuff, right?
Which is because they're Canadian. I guess they have a little bit more of that.
Well, when you're surrounded by that much woods, you should know how to like forage and light a fire without needing flint. You know, like if you needed to, do you know how from watching all this Survivor shit, create your own fire?
It does look
You
like
watch
gold.
a
Did you see
lot
my
of
clip I
Survivor
showed? Did you see the clip I showed of Alaskan monsters there before?
Well, other
Hold
than
on. I'll
just needing like a lot of liquor and guns, is there like a tactic?
Well, here's
to
another clip.
create fire.
Here's a new clip. This is like a guy. Not only does he find Bigfoot, but Bigfoot attacks his little bunker. That's what happens in this clip. Like it's like absurdly fake.
There's something behind us. Did you hear that? Yeah. Very cinematic.
Alaska, the monster frontier.
Monster Frontier, man. There's
Oh,
monsters.
it's like
out
some
there.
Blair. It's like some awful Blair Witch project. Yeah.
All right, so let me get
I'm
into.
surprised the Jersey Devil doesn't get any attention at all.
Yeah, only like independent little shitty movies that it's gotten to be a thing.
Yeah,
It
but-
should have a big. There should be a big
Only
movie.
made to where they don't even register at all.
All right, so I wanted to show the good reviews first. These are the 10 out of 10s. Review bombers will be the death of good TV. So they're considering this good TV. This is written by Lydia Wilkinson, who, again, probably a bot, probably a fake Amazon. Maybe just Amazon wrote it. Maybe Jeff Bezos was sitting in his fucking, I don't know, yacht writing these up, crying. I'm so over people bombing shows with negative reviews. This was definitely Jeff Bezos. He wrote this because it doesn't fit their image of what it should be. This has nothing to do with the quality of the show. I'm sorry, what quality again? This is, and if you're doing it to keep LOTR, to gatekeep LOTR, then you're not a real fan. This has nothing to do with gatekeeping. I don't like gatekeeping either. It's a very douchey nerd thing. This is not what's going on.
It's just people who are deep rooted fans who don't want new people to get into it, and they're all defensive.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember like this would happen with like hipster indie rock music, where it'd be like,
yeah,
oh,
like
you don't
with
know fucking,
Pitchfork, like,
you don't know their
like-
first EP, like where you
No,
know like
like-
where they like
like
you know.
with Pitchfork, that website. If you had heard a group before they did a review on it, you either get like all defensive or like champion it just because they did, and all these weird complexes.
Yeah, there's a lot of gatekeeping with music. I mean, I don't know about music today because everything's just trash, but then there was.
Well, it's all been Spotify. Now it's like you need it's either you have an album that's an hour and a half of like 10-minute tracks. I'm not 10-minute tracks, like 1-minute tracks, just to try and hit on like something to go viral. You know, like you're just
Yeah.
sheer volume trying to rape and pillage every single algorithm, and hopefully one out of the like 30 singles you release will hit for
Right.
some kind of meme or some bullshit.
And then Lydia here goes on to say the show is spectacular and such a great balm in the horrible times we're living in. I agree there. I was 10 when the Lord of the Rings films came out. So, all right. So then we already know you don't know what you're talking about. I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings universe, and I think the show is a brilliant addition to that world. It obviously looks serene and incredible. The dialogue is true to the previous films, which it's not, and the acting is great. Which do you know what good acting is? Go away, haters. I gotta look this up. What is Lydia Wilkinson reviewed in the past? Is this it? I'm gonna say this might be it. Let's do a little guess here. I click her name.
I don't know. I like that you can go and find their profile history and see.
Oh no, they got
Other-
some reviews. All right, this is a douche. This person, they like The Rise of Skywalker. Zach Reese and I love movies and hate fans. I think they're just railing against anyone who hates all the, and they like Queer Eye in Japan. All right, I can see
You
their
think they're
certain
like an
agenda.
actual person, or they're just like some bought and sold bot?
No, I think they're just an idiot. I'm actually realizing I think this person's just stupid. They like
Well,
all
that's
this
better
bad
than
stuff.
being some fake account. You know, like I prefer some legitimate moron fan than some faked out piece of shit algorithm based. You know, Chat GP fucking spewage.
Yeah, I mean, this person's saying they liked Rise of Skywalker, which, okay. I think you can exactly count out their opinion 100%.
You should reply to them.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have an IMDb Pro account to reply, I don't think. Here's another one.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not pro.
This is by CNJ JPB. This is obviously a fake username. This is probably, again, Bezos in his yacht. Who cares if it's not precisely the way you... I don't know what that means. I can't believe people who are giving this such negative reviews. Who cares if it's not the way you think it should be portrayed because of your version of what you think you read from his original works? That's kind of the point, actually, at why you like a lot of this stuff. Because it portrays works that were artistic and profound. And you might as well do that justice because they were done well. Like I don't get how you can't even understand that. It's fantastically entertaining. Did you watch this show? Did this person watch this show? You sure about that? I got to put that clip on again. You sure about that? Incredibly well shot. I mean, there's some nice looking shots, but they spent $1 million to do the show, so I'd fucking hope so. And while the storylines were slow to get rolling, all right. So the storylines never get rolling. By the way, I don't
That's the
necessarily
only
think
mission they'll probably give of it. You know.
Oh no, I think it's funny. You start
Altering.
to see that. Oh yeah, they're actually talking about how the show sucks. It's just coded.
Yeah, it's veiled in a bunch of weird catchphrases and taglines.
It doesn't really matter how the characters are portrayed. These are new characters in all caps, new. So, and again, some shots are nice, some shots are trash, and also the fucking design of the armor and some certain things look terrible. They didn't use Weta, who did all the the prop making and the effects stuff for the Peter Jackson movies, and fucking looked brilliant. And this company, Amazon, spent so much fucking more with it. But I also wonder, like, I think Amazon, because they have the budget, everyone just sort of like rips them off. Everyone's like, I'm gonna get my fucking. It's like a wedding. It's like if you take like wedding photos as opposed to just taking regular photos, you're gonna charge your price like up by fucking 5 times the amount. That's what this show was, because they knew it was Amazon's money. This person says, I can't wait for each episode to come out. I'm looking forward to watching these every week. I would love to be able to see them in theaters. Oh my god. I would love to see this on the huge screen. Oh man. Let's see what they reviewed in the past before. Yep, that's it. This is just this one. Just the one review. Makes me wonder if this was a bot or maybe Jeff Bezos bot. This was like a fembot with like the tits coming out. I'm sure. Do you think Jeff Bezos got some fembots? Probably shoot him up with tranquilizers when he wants to go to sleep.
Has higher end versions of those like they look like mannequins, but they're sex dolls with like high end rubber fucking skin and all that kind of stuff.
Well, this person here, by the way, only did one review, and it was 11 months ago when Rings of Power came out. So they created an account for Rings of Power to write this review. Okay, I'm sure this is a totally real user. Again, another totally real user. His name is DVKKBT. Sounds like maybe someone just typed that in as a bot. 10 out of 10. Breathtaking. I agree with breathtaking. My breath was taken away. I agree with that. But I don't think in the same way it was for this user here. I was gasping for air, like I was fucking being suffocated. It was like Jeff Bezos was strangling me.
With
Being
his
strangled
legs.
by like a Prime, like a Prime subscription. I had that like Prime membership tape that you get on the boxes, like wrapped around my like throat. He was tightening it, just trying to like finish me off, finish any Lord of the Rings fans off. At first, it didn't seem promising as I watched the trilogy of LOTR. If you have to, or hold on, if you have to, then there is nostalgia. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna read how this is written. It's not written well or phonetically correct. If you have to, then there is nostalgia. I was expecting something similar. This is not going to be like the movies, and I say good. This is completely different. The cinematic is amazing. Is this person like fucking Cambodian or some bullshit? Cambodian slave that Bezos like fucking forced by gunpoint to write this? The story is very interesting. It hooked me up to wait for the next 2 episodes. It may be not very exactly like the novels, but it's an amazing entertainment. Fun fact, these novels are not facts. Everything is fiction. Everything is fictional and fantasy, and so is this show. All the negative reviews here I'm reading, I bet they don't understand what's happening in the show. They are watching things from their own perspective, own spectrum, or how they want it to be. They need to have a broader spectrum. Chill. It's an amazing entertainment and enjoy. Oh man, I think I need a bag of rice with this comment. Some pad thai. I don't know. What do you like? You like I saw you eating tofu, man. That's like someone's got to take your American card away. I saw you actually eat tofu. You're not allowed to do that as American, you know. That's like
Yeah, it's pretty
anti-American.
bland and gross, and it's like dry and wet at the same time.
Yeah, I tried it once and I was like, I'll never fucking put this in my mouth. Like that's I remember thinking like, no, not for me.
Pause.
What are you talking about? No, yeah, I guess you could clip that. You could clip what I said there. I could see that being taken in the wrong way. I could see that being taken in the wrong way.
Yeah, there's an entire show.
Very cool.
Very cool.
What entire show? What are you talking about? You were
There's
saying
an
there's an entire
show with Cameron and Mace where they catchphrase homophobia in like you either say no homo, pause, that's crazy, and it's almost like you could make dolls out of both of them, which in a way that feels extremely racist, you know, like to like if I made like a Cameron or a Mace doll, it'd probably be like that thing from Extras. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, this is also quite the coincidence. This user in this review only did one review a year ago for Rings of Power. Interesting. What do you think about that? What do you think that we just saw 2 reviews that only done 1 review? They started up an account exactly around when Rings of Power came out. They did 1 review and then they never did another review. What does that kind of tell you right there? I mean, I'm not even like I looked up these reviews and I wanted to see on air if they were fake or not, and we definitely found 2 fake ones. These are fake. I mean, I'm sure the next one I'll find could be fake too. That's it shows you this is fucking bullshit. Like, you know, when you really look and see and do like the evidence digging yourself, you kind of find out this is ridiculous. Here's another one. 10 out of 10. I would pay to watch every episode in theaters. Stunning. Magical. Captivating. The best world building in the history of television. So throw out Game of Thrones for world building of a fantasy world. It's Rings of Power for D Brown 337. I'm gonna look into his account after this, but what do you think? Do you think this is a fake review? I'm gonna say more than likely. Best world building in the history of television.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I applauded it for being different.
It broke new ground!
Oh, the only thing disappointing is how many people gave it 1 star to tank the rating because it didn't fit some preconceived idea they had. This is definitely fake. This next paragraph proves it. This show completely made me forget about House of the Dragon. By the way, the show that this was competing with. So I think this would be a good bot post in anticipation for the next episode. Now, by the way, I watched both these things simultaneously and unequivocally, like there's no question between these two shows which one was better. It's just not there. You can't. This is not bias. This is not perspective. There's a better. One thing is not like the other. And House of the Dragon was actually good. Had really good acting, very good performances. It was very cinematic, and the budget was less than this. It was amazing. It's a show that was really good. Undeniably, it actually reminded me of good Game of Thrones stuff. Yeah, this is fake. The effects are stunning. The costumes are on point. No, I would say no at all. Characters are great so far. No, that's not
so
true.
far, it could get a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, this is September 8th. That must have been around. That would have been around the first or second episode. So, give or take around then. I'm still saying this is a bot. I'm saying this, especially with that House of the Dragon comment. This is a bot. Because the first couple episodes of House of the Dragon were pretty fucking pulling. They pulled you in. Those little the teenage characters of the princesses were really good. Like I like those opening actresses. The blonde, like the young blonde girl was good, and the young brunette, who was later the queen, was really good. They were both really good. Like I was impressed by them. I was kind of sad to see that they didn't like in the middle of the season they switched up to the older versions. I liked the younger cast a lot. Do you know what I mean by that? Did you like them or did you like the older versions better?
Of what?
Do you know what I'm talking about? With House of the Dragon, how like the middle of the season they kind of switched age, they, like jumped in years.
I mean, initially it really threw me off, but it was still, good enough to where it maintained the level of writing and performance and everything that was still like meshed well together, even though it definitely was at first
jarring.
a little off-putting. Yeah, and jarring. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt like at first I was like, I don't know if I like these older actors.
One of the what's that? The Boys. When The Boys went from season 1 to season 2, it really like fucked with my brain and my expectations, and it took me a little bit to like readjust to what was going on because I was so used to what they had built up.
Yeah, no, I remember that for sure. Oh man, I remember there's this funny video where a guy went. I gotta find that. There's a funny video where a guy went through that and kind of talked about that. I gotta find that. Man, where is that? I guess that's going back a year ago. I'm gonna look for that for a second, actually. Shit. I ain't gonna be able to find that. About that. Where the fuck is this? But yeah, I definitely liked the younger actors, and then I was like disappointed, and the older actors grew on me. Like I would say that it all started to get good still. Like it wasn't like anything was bad. At first, it was a little jarring, but then it kind of like grew on you. That was like my opinion of it all. And overall, the show was great. The show was great. See if I can find this. All right, I found this. Awesome. All right, awesome. This is exactly what I was looking for. This kind of plays into what we're talking about. This is perfect. I might have showed you this. I probably sent you this tweet. But this video is
All right.
spot on with what we were talking about with House of the Dragon.
All right. So how do you want to handle these time jumps? How long are they supposed to be? The first one is 10 years, and the second one is about 5 or 6 years. Okay, so for the first one, we'll use different actresses for Rhaenyra and Alicent. So that's easy. We'll have them look about 10 years older. What about the kids? Let's give Rhaenyra kids who look to be like 6 and 8 years old. Okay, makes sense. And Alicent, let's give her kids who look to be about 12 and 15. Okay. To age Daemon, we'll cut his hair. Shouldn't we recast him too? We'll cut his fucking hair. Okay. And what about Viserys, the king? Bag of bones. What? We're going to age him like 25 years. Okay. Now, there's another time jump the following episode. Grow Daemon's hair out. What about Rhaenyra and Alicent? Fuck them. We'll age the dark-haired kids like 3 or 4 years, and we'll age the blonde-haired kids like 10 years. And Viserys, every frame, he should be one step closer to death. Every time that camera hits him, I want you questioning, how is he still alive? Okay, you say so. What about Sir Criston, the Queen's Guard? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I remember he like looked the same the whole time. Like they like just gave him like little streaks of gray later on. Oh yeah, still good though. But again, let's look into this. This guy here, D Brown. 10 out of 10. Do you think he's got any user reviews? Do you think he's done some more reviews? Let's look here. Nope. He made his count. Well, he did make his count 8 years ago. That's lending some. That's interesting. But his only review was a year ago for The Rings of Power. I don't know, sports fans. I'm going to say this is a fake bot. And then let's go to the real things. These are the 1 out of 10 reviews. These are the real people. This is the haters, as they would say. This is our kind of people. I respect these folk. Tolkien is turning in his grave. I like that headline. I mean, Tolkien would have hated this shit. Tolkien would have hated this shit so much. He would have hated that his like $1 billion went into this show. Like, oh my god, would have hated that. Imagine spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, actually, it's $1 billion on intellectual property, only to completely misunderstand every aspect of it! Exclamation point. That's Amazon's terrible take on Tolkien. An inauthentic. By the way, look how greatly worded this is. It's funny how like the other guy looked like it was from a Cambodian in the fucking middle of the country. Someone who actually is speaking with a nice voice here. Inauthentic, wrong-headed, a production as has ever been put on screen. Despite putting the clearly talented director J.A. Bayuna, I forget what he's done. The opening episode falls flat. Even he can't rescue the poor writing, ridiculous characterizations, and painful girl power heroism. We saw that of one of the leads. You ever talk about killing an ice troll in 10 seconds in the Second Age? You've seen this show before many, many times. Sadly, as the series progressed, it made moves from weakness to weakness. Little good can be said about this production. It's perhaps the least successful use of a large sum of money in recent history. bearing Zuckerberg's metaverse universe. I don't know if that's even going. Boring, uninspired, and left between the shadow of Peter Jackson's work. 100%. There's no reason for anyone to look to be entertained and to waste their time with this tripe. Oof, man. This is also written recently, by the way. This is July 2023, so this wasn't someone who just like wrote it at the time. And I look at their account. They've been around for 2 years, 6 months. They have plenty of reviews. Talk about Blue Beetle, making fun of Blue Beetle. Looks like they were a relevant reviewer here, so I give them props. I'm gonna say all these people who are giving this bad reviews are actually relevant users, not trolls. People who like things. Look at this. They give The Exorcist 10. They're a fan of The Exorcist. I mean, I can't agree more. You know, they're giving good things good scores and bad things bad scores. So it's nice to see that. All right, let's see the next thing here. Another one here. Another 1 out of 10 from Matthew Hammer. I feel like I've heard that score before. I might have seen this I might have seen this user in some channels I've watched on YouTube before. That name Matthew Hammer sounds really familiar. Cinematic trash and an insult to intelligence. Imagine taking a masterpiece like Mona Lisa and reinterpreting as a stick figure Mona Lisa in crayon, and then selling it as a successor to the original. That's what Amazon has done with the Rings of Power. Shallow acting. Maybe some exceptions for the dwarves. Even the whole dwarf plot is completely incompatible with Tolkien's writing. It's very true. Tacky script writing. And in the end of seasons on, maybe the biggest insult to Tolkien's IP ever created. The best thing that could happen the show is to be canceled after season 1 and quickly forgotten. I will not be watching season 2, regardless of what the paid critics may say about it. Man, this guy's rough. And I'm gonna think that they've reviewed other things. I could kind of tell from that. Oh no. All right, so we hit a guy who just did one review. But Matthew Hammer, I feel like I've seen you before.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Voy kuag.
Gotta clap for that.
Gotta clap for it. Gotta clap for it.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Amazing. Whoa. Very cool.
Wow.
It's amazing, man. Got that burger and all. Makes you want to get a burger, right? When's the last time you had a hamburger at John Lovitz? Probably recently, right? Have you had yourself a hamburger? Cheeseburger? I don't know. I don't know what you do. You do hamburger, you do cheeseburger, hamburger.
You know, you're wondering whether I'm still the liquor. No. Guess what? I'm on top of the liquor. I am the monkey in charge of bananas. What's my secret? This little device right here. I just take a little blow, and it tells me when it's time for a little top-up. Because when I first got this, I used to ride it around 0.20, which is fucking wasted, 24/7. But now, I leave it at 0.12, which is perfect. It's right in the fucking slot, just past the click. That wonderful moment, just like Julian. I'm sober enough to know what I'm doing, and I'm drunk enough to really enjoy doing it. Oh, look at that, 0.10. Time for a little drinky poo. Cheers, genitals.
This show's a Canadian masterpiece too, by the way. I never kept up with the Netflix Trailer Park Boys. I don't even know if it's still going. There was a time where it was very funny. I kind of got a little worn out by the Trailer Park Boys. National heroes though of Canada there. I'm sure Trudeau has visited with them frequently. All right, next one here. Continuing on our review train is Tomas from IMDb. Tomas 821. A big no. This is from April 2023. This is recent. This is one of the worst TV shows ever made in human history. You can spend billions on CGI, but it will never be the same. It will never save bad writing. You can see how untalented the writers are and what a mistake it was Amazon did this. When you are so full of yourself that you could think you could do a better job than Tolkien himself, this is proof you can't. I mean, this is a big issue I have with the show too, is they're presupposing a lot of things. They're presupposing a lot of like they're actually like they didn't have the rights to a lot of things on this, so they're kind of like filling in the gaps and like kind of speaking for Tolkien, which I find offensive. Tolkien himself, this is proof for it. Characters are acting like they never would. Story is told like it's some cheap soap opera on CW. This actually really does feel like a CW show with like $1 billion budget. It was stated that only 37% of people finished the show. And the most bizarre thing is that Amazon is blaming fans of Tolkien. They're blaming the fans being racist and divided. It's actually a common complaint with Tolkien in general, is that his whole Lord of the Rings story was coming from a racist background. Having like the orcs being dark skinned, and it's actually something that goes back to the 70s. Like the complaint for Lord of the Rings is not new, saying that he's a racist and all the things, and I don't really buy it. I think you're kind of missing the point. I never saw Tolkien as a racist. But who's not these days, right?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the press conference for A History of Violence. And I will immediately introduce the people who are here at this panel. Sitting next to me, actor and director, Mr. Ed Harris. Ed, you wanted to add anything?
Not particularly.
Oh, yeah, you did do one.
I'd
That's
like
right.
that. No, because what is that? What is that? You know? What is that? What is it? What is it? What is violence? What is it? You know, that's what the movie's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, thank you very much for being here.
I think I love Ed Harris's reaction there. I don't blame him.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks.
I agree. You could have Al Pacino in this fucking Rings of Power mess. That'd be actually kind of interesting. Throw him in, have him not really do a lot of acting, kind of the hoo-ha, the typical Al Pacino stuff. I would have loved it. Him as Aragorn. Why not make Al Pacino Aragorn? I'd be in. I'd be all in. Nick Cage as Elrond. Throw him in. 1 out of 10. Another one of these. Fan fiction with $1 million budget. It's an average show if you don't know anything about Middle Earth coming into it, which I feel like a lot of people who like this show are younger and don't really know. I noticed that. Some actors are horrible and some were too good to star in this. I agree. I can't blame the actors on this show. I know a lot of people have, and a lot of people have been racist towards these actors. Some are being a little overblown, but I don't blame the actors. It's just really bad writing. CGI was amazing in parts, which I do agree, and then suddenly some did look really cheap. It's true. It's like there are some really good shots and some that are like, this is what you fucking paid for? And then back to amazing. Yeah, there's some nice shots. Some cinematic stuff in CG is well done, but I would fucking hope so. You're going to spend $1 billion on 8 episodes. I think what made the show unbearable to watch was the writing. Yeah. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why you mess up the writing side when you're adapting a book. Well, you're not really adapting a book. All they had to the rights were the appendices of Lord of the Rings, which we're only talking about 30 pages of material. That's all they actually had the rights to for this. So they couldn't say hobbits. They couldn't say Gandalf. There's so many things. Like I kept watching and be like, oh, the not hobbits. Oh, that's the not Gandalf character. meaning it was, but they couldn't legally. The legally not hobbits, the legally not Gandalf were written into the show, but they actually couldn't say it, which is also, that's not helping your writers either. Like, you can't blame them when that's what they have to work with. It's just, why even make a show about this? Most of the time, this isn't an adaptation. It's completely changing the story, which is true, by the way. And the timeline and the story is not true. There's actually characters that are missing in this. Galadriel has a husband, an elven husband that she's had for hundreds of years. That's completely absent.